Ah, yes, finally. Got all this sand for this new build we're gonna build, and I'm so excited. Oh, what? Missing one thing. Let's go get that.
Ooh, I want to make a sand castle today. Hey, look at all these shulkers. Oh, perfect. There's already sand in here. I'm going to take that. Now I got sand. I wonder where I'm going to put the sand castle.
Ah, yes, the final purple candle. So happy we still had one. Wait, where did all my sand go? What is going on? Where did Bean go? She had to have taken it.
Yay, so cute. I love
Bean,
it.
what did you do with all my sand? What is this?
Uh, a sand castle? Do you like it?
No, not really. We needed that sand for the next video. Now we need to go gather so much more.
Dude, it's literally fine. It's like 5 sand. I can just help you gather more anyways. Doesn't even matter. Do you like it?
No.
My sand castle,
Yeah,
no!
you have to go give me all that sand now. Goodbye. We will get that sand eventually, because, oh, hey, how's it going, Bean?
Hi.
Yeah, we will get that sand eventually, but before that, I kind of want to go over a little bit of some world plan action. I use my free cam mod because I just got that. If you've been watching or following the desert for a little bit now, you'll notice that, like, we have been trying to use the vanilla terrain. We don't want to do that much terraforming, and we're going to use that over here as well. So if you kind of look, the vanilla terrain has given us this, like, pretty obvious little pathway for this creek or oasis offflow, or whatever you want to call it, to come down in here. And then there's this very nice large basin over here. So maybe we have to build this guy up. You know, also, if you've noticed, palm trees are only close to the water, which I think is a neat little feature. So we're going to surround this place in lots of big, beautiful palms. And also, we have been working on making this place feel a little bit more alive.
So, I thought some small vendor stands would be a great touch. I wanted the items to feel relevant to the location, so over here we got some eggplants, flower shop, maybe a little clothing and basic gear shop, and over here on this wall, a painting shop. I wanted to use the wall of the building as part of the shop because it's pretty big and I could use some new paintings I've never seen. I also added this easel so maybe you could watch the vendor paint. And lastly, a candle shop because we got lots of candles in this area, so it felt realistic to have a shop where you could buy said candles. I added this cauldron and fire to give a little illusion of the wax being heated up, kind of like when you have the wick and you dip it in the wax repeatedly to make the candle.
All right, one last thing before we get all those materials and sand or whatever. So over there, we have a large wind catcher to, make the cool off the building. And over to the left, it's feeling like it's missing something. So like a big clock tower or something over here, I think would be perfect. Or maybe like a bell tower, something like that. You get the point. Let's go get those materials.
Despite being the obvious block choice, Aiden and I have not used any red sandstone in the desert yet, so we made sure to include that in this build. We contrasted it with some regular sandstone and some diorite and some blue terracotta to give it that more ornate feel, and I love how it turned out. Let's see what Aiden thinks.
Oh yeah, we just finished up the bell tower and check that out. We got the sunrise and the clock is not rendering in, but that is a-okay because it still looks money. Yes, this like I when me and Bean were building this and playing this out, we didn't really anticipate it looking too good from back here, or we didn't anticipate it at all. But look at that. It fits right in between these palm trees, and that right there is a beautiful, definitely a candidate for the thumbnail. But let's go take a closer look. All right, so first you will notice that it's not too big. It's not taking up too much of your it's not taking up too much space. It just complements the wind catcher absolutely perfectly, I think, towering above you the entire time, but it's not too imposing. Here it is. It is the first building you see here. We got a lot of inspiration from this comment mentioning I'm going to botch this, Husa in Abad. I could totally be mispronouncing that. I apologize. Clock tower in, I think it's India. Very cool stuff. We didn't want to make it a clock tower because I think a small village or bazaar like this doesn't really need one of those. But I did decided to make it into a bell tower because maybe, if the enemy is coming into raid, they can sound the alarm. that was kind of the idea behind it. I don't really like war in this world. We're gonna try to keep it peaceful, but I guess that was the thought behind it. If you noticed, we actually did the interior, pretty basic stuff. Maybe they're burning incense up here with all the candles, just like my kind of thought process. But if we come up here to the actual mechanism of the bell tower, you got your big rope tied to the grindstones up there, which look a lot like pulleys. And then you'll pull this, and the bell will ring. Just a little bit of thought behind the mechanism, kind of like that. For overall, the building itself is quite basic. It's not much. You got a nice gradient going on from the oak to the jungle, and then up into more red colors, and then finishing off with, I'm going to go into free game here, the white, and then using the acacia trapdoors to give it a little bit more of that ornate look, quite like that. And then the bell tower, shout out Oh My Fish, thanks for helping me come up with a just pretty basic design for the bell. Turned out really quite nice. But also, what we did not include in that time lapse is that we kind of built up this little hill here, just adding some rocks and maybe some old ruined walls, just like we did over there. And what's a bazaar without street food? So we're gonna build up some street food carts here, maybe some stands selling produce, stuff like that. We have all those materials, so let's get into building those. Alrighty, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I just want to go over a little bit. Like, we built some of these smaller details here, and Bean cooked up this absolutely wonderful little painting corner. So I think you should tell us more about this, like the idea and like what made you come up with this, because it was different. It was different before this.
Yeah, originally it was just on this wall, but since we added the bell tower, I wanted to expand upon it so it wasn't just facing this way, so I made it its own corner. We're missing.
Oh,
wait,
missing.
we have to fix.
Yes,
It's gonna be so hard.
It's never gonna work first try.
Oh,
Hey, that's
I've
kinda nice.
never seen that before.
That's nice.
It's got bird in it.
Nice.
I'm gonna keep it. It
I
was
think you should
something.
keep it, yes.
It was definitely something different before, but
Yeah,
I
then
like
you
this
shot
one.
with the trident and it disintegrated.
Is that real?
I think so. Let's try.
That's
just
so
like that with the pot.
sad.
That's so funny. And now we're never gonna get it ever again.
Yeah, I'm never gonna see it
sorry.
ever. Oh,
Oh my
amazing.
god, amazing. Thank you, painting gods, for appeasing us.
So
I
good.
love what you did here with the banners and the signs to obscure your view and really close this place off. That's so good.
It actually wasn't the intention to block the view back here. I just wanted to, since I can't like suspend paintings in midair, I wanted to put the banners because we've been on a banner kick. It hides the horrible terraforming, so it's good too.
Yes, like I really like how like cozy it is. Like if I was like a shopkeeper or something and I'd be like behind here, hello, may I buy some paintings, please?
No.
Like that kind of but like that kind of thing. Like it's so cozy, and then you got the banners up here.
Yeah,
Such a
that
good
too.
build. I love this.
Thank you.
On the subject of banners, as you can see, we've definitely been doing an absolute load of banner work. We have Bean's banner corner over here, and then we have this whole place looking crazy with all the banners. And I was like thinking, these banners are a little bit basic. You got your single colors, and you also got your like swirl, and it's cool. But I want to try making some custom banners for the cabbage cart that we have over here. Shout out to Flying Frog for that absolutely wonderful suggestion. It's super nice. I think I want to build, we got heavily inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think I definitely want to build some more of these around the world. That's kind of fun. And then over here, we have like your little street food vendor. You can come in here and you can be like, hey, like, how's it going? You want some chicken shawarma and that kind of thing.
Is there anything else?
There's absolutely nothing else, but I think this is pretty cool. But let's get those banners up. All right, so we just crafted up those banners, and I got a little distracted because we have this little eggplant stall here, and if you didn't know that, if I didn't tell you that this was an eggplant, like if my mom or some like rando who doesn't play Minecraft came up and saw this, they would not know it's an eggplant. So we cook up these absolutely fantastic eggplant banners, and oh my gosh, dude, these look like eggplants or what, dude? I love them. I think one should go there and one right here. Yes, so lovely.
Yay!
And now you 100% know that's eggplant.
Okay,
Quite
look
like this.
look what I made. Look what I made. This was from my own
This is
my
from off the dome. The
this was
eggplant,
off the
I gotta
dome.
give some credit. The eggplant was off the internet, so I unfortunately
Check
don't know
this
who it
out.
was, but yeah. Oh, oh, so good, dude. The cabbage with the earth spikes. I love it.
Earth spike.
Yes, I love the cabbage, dude. It's like it's just a cabbage,
This cabbage. It's like spiky and kind of like green and
and
spiky,
it
so
goes
it
really well with the
looks like
bushes.
cabbage.
The
I like
bushes
it.
look so much like cabbage. And on the theme of big bushy things, we gotta build some palm trees, and we also have to wrap up the oasis completely. So let's go get cracking on that. Oh my gosh, was that a lot of building or what? But yes, look at that. Look at Bean down there. The oasis is complete. And before we go down there, I want to show you a cool, fun little feature. Look, the sandcastle's back. Show the stream this a little bit, but like we have the oasi here. And this is like the highest one. And the water is going all the way down. And I think having this like elevation change is what really makes like the desert super special. So check this out. Go down here, turn right, fly through the corridor area, and underneath the bridge
Oh,
if you can
I
make it.
missed.
And Bean is here trying to kill me. But yes, this is the oasis. Let's start over here. So, you know, we needed the oasis to come down here, and I wanted to bend. We have maybe it's hitting this rock, and it's getting diverted, and it's going down there. And I really like each tier of waterfall or whatever. I thought about adding glass or candles, but it would prevent the water slide. It goes curves along here, then goes, and it's, you know, during the high flow rate, I've talked about that a little bit in the past, it slams into this wall and it really just erodes away. I've kind of done that using the walls and the stairs and creating just a little bit of an overhang to give the indication of erosion. And then also the vegetation down here, Bean,
It's a little sparse looking, and we're thinking if the flow rate's so high that it's carving out the rock over here, the vegetation would most likely get absolutely demolished by the flow rate. So I made sure to make it a little sparser than normal. Or maybe the desert is so dry that it grows and then it can't grow anymore because there's no more water and then it dies. So either way.
I love it. It's so good. But yeah, also another thing Bean absolutely cooked on is this bridge, dude.
Yeah, I made this bridge on the stream. We wanted a little bridge to go over here, and I thought it'd be fun if we added like a little ruin. So I made sure to carve out the middle. So also, so the villagers can't escape because they don't know how to jump.
That like I love it. It's got the little arch going on, and then it's broken in the middle, so you have to jump over it. So nice. And then also, yeah, the villagers. And then speaking of villagers, we ran out of time this episode. We'll do it next time. And we also really want the happy gas to fly them around. But this bridge does lead to somewhere. There's this little path over here that will wind its way into the secret cave that we have done absolutely nothing with.
Oh.
But I honestly really like the shape of the little entrance.
Scary in there.
It is indeed very scary in there. But we'll touch up on it maybe in a little bit of the episode. Okay.
Let's
Another
talk
thing-
vegetation.
Yeah, let's talk vegetation. So, vegetation in the desert is pretty rare. We wanted to, you know, still make this place look super lush and nice, but we didn't want to overdo it. So we have little patches of rooted dirt and mushroom just sprinkled around maybe some of the granite rocks and maybe around some of the palm trees. And then, we went ham with the firefly bushes because I think they look really nice.
They
And
look
then,
so good.
like, oh my gosh, the ambiance that's in this place right now. Turn the brightness up to moody. I mean, bright or ultra bright or whatever it's called to, enjoy this place at night. Because if it's moody, it's way too dark for you guys to see. Foliage is super nice. Didn't go overkill. Mojang, we need more water plants, dude. Just the little seagrass, the just 1 pixel sticking out the water is so nice. One last thing before we actually go over there. We want to make our world very walkable, or more specifically, the desert very walkable. So we have this nice path here, and this place is kind of blocked off. There's no obvious path going over there. But if you kind of go over here, you can walk through the bazaar, and you can come over to the stalls, and we created this nice little trail that winds its way down over here. Maybe there's some old ruins here of some later civilization that came before. There's a stonecutter. Get rid of that guy. And if we walk through here, it's very walkable. Here's another bridge that being
More
cooked
bridge. This one's a little more decrepit and kind of like sad looking. If you notice, I put some dark oak down here so it looks
So
like
good.
it's soaking and it's all nasty.
And then also over here, we have a little more erosion action going on, but with a little bit more foliage. I do want to continue the river out into this very flat place and maybe have it looking like it's drying up. Maybe we'll get to that this episode. Using the bamboo trapdoors as fronds, I think is a pretty nice touch. Just trying to mix everything up, get some more variation in there. As we walk through here, we have a few other small things like this little canyon up in here. I think this is a nice little touch. Maybe, water is eroding this place and it's flowing down here and flowing all the way down into the Oasis. I really like that. Just a small little touch in the world is pretty nice.
I like that this palm tree is like in the path. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like this guy's right here, and then some of his palms and maybe some of the leaves are kind of rotting away. Yeah, this place, it's feeling pretty immersive. This place in general, I really dig it. When you're down here and you're hanging out, you have the bright lights of the bazaar, you have the dimly lit over here. But this place is missing a little something. I think it's missing. If we fly over here, I've cleared out a little bit of space just right here. And I think maybe it's a nice big ruin or something would look pretty nice sitting up on this little plateau area. So let's go do that.
All right, so here we are at the ruins. The first thing that you'll notice is it's very close to the edge of the cliff. And I was kind of thinking, since we're on this roll of very realistic erosion, especially with places like where the water is flowing, that it'd be realistic that this building would be close to the edge of the cliff, because maybe at one point the edge of the cliff was all the way out by these palm trees over here. And that's why you'll notice that it's kind of precariously hanging over the edge over here. Uh-oh, this thing's coming. And maybe in the future, in a few years, it will eventually crumble and fall down into this gully, which I think is kind of a fun little thing to include. And if we come into here, you'll notice in the building, there's a lot of archways that are left over. And in our last few videos, we've been talking a lot about archways. And archways, as if you remember, are very strong structurally. So I wanted to make sure that I built a lot of remaining archways, because usually when old buildings are found, doorways and archways are still remaining. So I wanted to make sure I added that to give it that realistic touch. The floor, as you see, is pretty ornate looking, so I was kind of thinking that this was a very ornate, fancy building. So that's why I used a lot of this glazed terracotta. And in here, we still have the theme of maybe a little bit more of an ornate feel with the spirally tuff. I don't really know what that's called. You can also come up here and maybe a cool secret will be added in the future. So since this place is kind of ruined, there's no interior, but there is an interior in one of our buildings. Let's go check it out.
That building over there has no interior. Whoa, Red 68 fall from the sky. But you know what building does have an interior, this guy. This interior was built courtesy of one of our YouTube members, more specifically, Chucklefart34. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Speaking of membership, if you guys want to maybe have a chance to build one of these interiors, I know this one's taken already, but maybe the bathhouse and maybe the upstairs of the hookah lounge could be done by one of you guys as well. So if you're interested in that, link is in the description. But enough of the plugging. Let's check out this interior. So we over here, we have this big old nice industrial range with the frog lights in it. Pretty nice
frog
stuff.
light.
Illuminates the whole thing. And here you have your stoves with the daylight sensors.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is like my favorite part. This is so creative. Put the vine carts on the daylight sensor.
Yes, very nice. And then over here, maybe you have some, spices or something, and then you have some food out the table. I like it. You got some banners and towels. Quite like it. It's simple, but it works quite well. And it's like a little cafe kind of thing. And let's check out the upstairs. We go upstairs. You got quite a bit of nice seating, with the mahogany chairs. You can have a look outside and take a look at the beautiful bazaar. Very nice. You have a nice big old painting up here, and you have a little porch to, view the beautiful desert. I also really like these doors. I like that you can, go upstairs and end up also upstairs over here. But that is going to be it for this video. If anything, both Bean and I, mostly me, are getting a little bit tired of the desert. We're getting a little burnt out, if you will. Get it? Get it because the desert's hot. Yeah, okay. But yes, this is going to be the last desert video for maybe a little bit. We're going to get back to the peninsula, so stay tuned and let's roll the outro.
Hey, look! You made it to the outro. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you. Let's take a look at some builds made by our very talented Discord members. If you're interested in joining our Discord and having a chance to get your build featured at the end of the next video, the link is in the description. We're super active on the Discord and we want to get to know you. Our Discord is also a great place to get feedback on your builds, ask for ideas, and share reference pictures. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, link in the description.
To add on, if you liked what you saw, like and subscribe because it helps us out a lot. Finally, if you want to have this world for yourself, you can become a member. The link is also down in the description. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.
Goodbye, Internet.